to make a video about the straight path, Siratul Mustaqeem, and hikma, wisdom. These two are very, very important concepts in the Quran, probably the most important concepts in all of Islam, because as far as Siratul Mustaqeem, or the straight path, every praying Muslim asks God to guide him on the straight path every time they pray, and they recite the Surah Fatiha, right? Ihdina Siratul Mustaqeem, guide us on a straight path. So it's very important to know what this is. Additionally, as far as hikmah, or wisdom, is concerned, God says in the Quran, and I forget the reference, but whoever is given hikmah, whoever is given wisdom, indeed has been given a great gift. So these concepts are described in the Quran, and I just want to recite it for people so they know, because no matter what you think you know about Islam, this is Islam. This supersedes everything you think you know about Islam. These behaviors, these actions are defined as hikmah and Siratul Mustaqeem. So we have to follow this no matter what. There's nothing that will replace this. It doesn't matter if you have extra prayers, or if you have extra fasting, or if you have extra whatever. The whole purpose of Islam is to mold yourself into this type of a person, that you embody these behaviors, and that's it. So as far as Siratul Mustaqeem, that's mentioned in chapter 6, verses 151 to 153, and hikmah is mentioned in chapter 17, verses 22 to 38. So Siratul Mustaqeem is defined as, and these verses begin with the word kul, right? Which means say. So Prophet Muhammad said this to people, and so it goes, say, come, let me tell you what your Lord has forbidden for you, that you should associate anything with him, and do good to your parents, and do not kill your children out of fear of poverty. We provide for you and for them. And do not approach fawahish, or sexual immorality, whether it's concealed or hidden or out in the open. And do not kill a soul that God has made forbidden except for the requirements of justice. These are his commandments to you, that you may understand. And do not approach the property of an orphan except in the most righteous manner until they reach maturity. And give full weight and measure with justice. We do not burden a soul beyond its ability. And when you speak, be just, even if it's against your own family. And keep your deal with God. These are his commandments to you, that you may be mindful. And this is my Siratul Mustaqeem. This is my straight path, so follow it, and do not follow any other paths, for they will lead you away from his path. These are his commandments to you, that you may have taqwa, that you may be careful of your duty. So he basically tells people, look, these are the commandments of God that you should keep in mind, that you should be careful, that you actually do all of this. So that's the straight path, just very straightforward. Hikmah, as described in chapter 17, verses 22 to 38, is exactly the same thing. So the two characteristics, the two concepts that God pretty much tells us that we should value the most, are exactly the same thing. So that should really drive the point home, that this is what being Muslim is all about. This is what it's about. This is everything. Everything else we do, prayer, fasting, is designed to drive us to eventually develop ourselves and be able to obey these actions. Now, a lot of these are the negatives, what we shouldn't do, but the opposite of that is what God loves. So it's not hard to conclude, even though God spells it out. Even if it wasn't spelled out, the opposites of these are very, very obvious. In any case, hikmah is described as, so it goes, and do not associate any other God with God, lest you sit down despised and neglected. And your Lord has commanded that you shall serve none but him, and goodness to your parents. If one or both of your parents reach old age with you, do not say to them as much as oof, nor rebuke them, nor chide them, nor talk to them in a disparaging manner, but address them with respect, and be humble towards them, and say, my Lord, please have mercy on them, for they raised me when I was a child. Surely your Lord knows what is in your hearts. Therefore, if you are good, then surely he is forgiving to those who turn back frequently. And give to the relatives their due, and the needy and the traveler, and do not squander wastefully. Surely the squanderers are fellows of the devil, and the devil is always ungrateful to his Lord. Surely the devil is always ungrateful to his Lord. But if you turn away from them, seeking the mercy of your Lord which you hope for, then speak to them a gentle word. And do not keep your hand shackled to your neck, nor stretch it out to its limits, lest you sit down lamed and stripped off. Surely your Lord increases the means of sustenance for whom he pleases, and he decreases it. Surely your Lord is aware of, seeing of his servants. And do not kill your children out of fear of poverty. We provide for you and for them. Surely to kill them is a great wrong. And do not approach zina, which is adultery and fornication. Surely it is a fawahisha, and an evil way. Fawahisha meaning sexual immorality, or just immorality, and an evil way. And do not kill a soul that God has made forbidden, except for the requirements of justice. And whoever is killed unjustly, we give to his heir authority, so let him not exceed the limits of killing. Surely he is helped. And do not approach the property of an orphan except in the most righteous manner until they reach maturity. And keep your promises. Surely every promise will be asked about. And give full measure when you measure out, and weigh with a true balance. Surely this is fair and better in the end. And do not follow that of which you do not have any knowledge, for surely the hearing and the sight and the hearts, all of these will be asked about them. And do not walk the earth with arrogance, for you cannot cut through the earth nor reach the mountains in height. Surely all of this, the evil of it, is hateful in the sight of your Lord. This is what your Lord has revealed to you of hikma, of wisdom. Therefore do not associate any other god with God, lest you be thrown into hell, lamed, and driven off. So this is what God says about Siratul Mustaqeem and hikma, the straight path and wisdom. These are exactly the same. When the Siratul Mustaqeem, when the straight path is defined in chapter 6, it is short, it's made brief, and then expanded upon in chapter 17 when God defines hikmah, or wisdom. The rest of the Quran basically expands on these concepts, and that's it. There are a few other things in the Quran, but the majority of the Quran is associated with these simple concepts. So if you are a Muslim, this is what you are expected to become. And that's really it. There's not much more to say to it. Everything that people have made Islam out to be, they have thrown so much unnecessary stuff on top of this that a lot of people who consider themselves Muslims don't even know that this is in the Quran. They don't even know that this is how important this is. So that's why I made this video. I just wanted to say that, and I hope I recited all the verses correctly. I gave the reference. Sometimes we make mistakes, so if I made a mistake, may God forgive me. But if you are a Muslim, you should definitely go and read these verses. Make sure I said them correctly, and memorize them, and recite them in prayer, so you keep them in mind, because this is exactly what Prophet Muhammad instructed us to do when we are told what Siratul Mustaqeem is, so we may understand it, we may keep it in mind, and then we may be careful of our duty in respect to these commandments. So that's it.